Hi everyone. So in this video we're gonna see the basic app how to create in Android. Let us say that I want to create two screens where when I click on go to next screen from one screen it should go to another screen. The same should happen vice versa from the other screen. So that's what we're gonna build today. So for that, click on the new project and click on empty activity and then click on next and then name this application switching between apps. So this is what we're gonna do. The name would be like this. Always make sure that you start the project name with a capital letter and follow the camel case so that it will be easier for the developers to read in future. So let this Gradle build for a while. Once it is done, we will start coding. So before that, the Android would be creating one main activity for us, that is this one, so which will be the default one. Whenever we click on run, the phone will be opening, the emulator or the device would be opening with this main activity, which will have the stylings of activity main. So as I said that we will be having two activities here, how to switch between two activities. So we will be creating another activity like this with its own styling, and we will make them differ. So it's building. Let's give it some time. It's going to take a while. Okay, so before until it builds, let's talk about this. What is this set content, what is this super, and how are we creating? So whenever this is nothing but a main activity which will be extending to app compat activity. What it does is it will be creating an instance in a bundle format, like whatever the instance state that it is in. So we'll be creating bundle, it is of bundle type, and we'll pass that to on create function. So this content, whatever this ninth line that you're seeing, is nothing but you are linking your style to this main activity. Let us say that we have this main activity, and right now if you see that this activity main, so which means that the styling for this main activity is done here. You can click on control click. In Mac you can say command click. So this is what activity main is. So here you have three options: code, split, design. So design is nothing but users can drag and drop and do the attributes. I'll show you that. So if I text to you is nothing but text that you are going to display. Let us say that I dragged it here. I can put the properties right here inside this place, and I'll put the margins, bottoms, whatever the constraints for it. I can put everything right here. So this is the way this design works. And if I go to code, I'll be directly adding the code. So what I'll do is I'll do the split, which will have both this and this, so that I'll be able to see. So this is the first activity, right? So I'll name this. Let me go back here and give a background color. This is a black background I'm giving. So I will put a button, match parent, and wrap content, and let me give it an ID. So basically ID is used to get this particular element inside the kotlin file, right? So that is what we're gonna do. We don't need we can close it directly like this. And then text for this button would be, what should we give? Let's give it as take me to next activity. This is what text would be, and let me give it some size so that it will look a little better. 30 is too much. Okay, now let me constrain it to the top and left. It has nothing to do with it. You don't have to worry much about it. So it is basically nothing but take this top and put it from the top. Take this left, put it to the left. Take this right and put it to the right, like that. It's simple. You don't have to worry much about this. So let me change this background. Let's not give it any background as of now. It looks kind of odd, right? So let me give horizontal margin because it looks like 30 dp. Yeah, so this is how it would be looking. Take me to next activity, right? So before this, let me create a text view. Wrap content text activity 1. Don't worry about that. Text is done. So this will be my text, but I need it to be bold as well as size. Just for your understanding, this I'm making this as yeah. So this is activity 1. So what I'll do is I'll create another activity with the same thing. Click on new, go to here activity, and then choose the empty activity, just like how we have chosen. This is gonna be my second activity, and then click on OK. And currently we have the same styling that we are using here. So activity second, sorry for the noise. So here this split. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the same thing right here. I'll change the IDs for both of things. So this is button 2. Let's name this as button 1. And this you can remove it off. And yep. Activity second. Let me name this as activity 2. Take me to previous activity. That is what second text would be. So how do I actually take this particular thing there and take this here? So I'll go to my main activity. What I'll do is I'll create a button that I'm using inside this activity. That will be, let's call it as button 1. And what we are gonna do is we'll use find view by ID. This what does it do? Like, in order to find a particular person in India, we use Aadhaar card, right? So which is unique. Like that, every component will have its ID. So you can see that find view by ID here. What is the view? What is the type of component that you are finding by ID? That is button here in this case. So this is button, and r.id is what we use. R.id is nothing but it will be storing all the numerical addresses of every ID inside Android OS. So I'll choose that, and then button 1. So it will have this button 1. Now button 1 dot set on click listener, and then this is what on button will be listening to this click. And then here I'll create, sorry for the noise, man, this is really irritating for me as well, sorry. This is intent that I'm gonna create. Intent is nothing but it takes you to the next activity. So intent I'll call of this. You go from this particular element to the second activity, right? Second activity class.java. That is what we're gonna do, and is nothing but start activity. Once you do that, you just write start activity and then pass in that variable that you have created now. That's it, simple. This is done. So in the same way how we have done, we will do for the second activity as well, except in that case we are coming back, right? So what else do we need to change? Let's call it as a button 2. It should be button 2, right? Button 2, and then this should be button 2, and this way, from this to where are we going? To main activity. That's it, start activity of the intent. So this is done. Now let me open any of the emulator and show you how it works. I think it should be pretty clear now, because there's nothing fancy here, everything is simple. The only problem is, like, you should be worrying about whether you have this intent here or not. So we should be doing that, like whether do you know this intent, or whether it's what does it do. You don't have to worry much about details of it. You just know what to use, when to use. That's it. That's the programming that you will be learning. So it's a building, it's going to take a while. So whatever you are going to add, all the layouts file, this will be included under this, and your activities here. It's installing now. Let's check the application. Now this application is getting opened. You can see that this is activity 1. Take me to next activity. I'm clicking. This came activity 2. Can you see here? So if I take me to previous activity, if I click on it, I'm clicking, it should change to activity 1, which means we have successfully implemented our basic first Android app, which is very simple. Take me to next activity, take me there. So you would be seeing, right, whenever in daily life also we will see, like going from let us say that if you opened any of the app WhatsApp, or if you click on settings, you will go there. So that is a different concept. Like it is, I mean, if the new things weren't there, we would be doing this intent wise only, switch from one activity to the other. But there we are using fragments, which I'll be covering in the next videos. Stay tuned to it. That's it for this one. Thank you.